Right guys, bit of a different video today. I thought, you know, I'll give you a little update at the end, but you guys must be getting bored of it. Especially at the moment, I'll be honest, not a lot's happening. So, today's video is probably the most frequent question I get asked in the gym, kind of out and about by guys. And that is, I can't grow, what can I do? Now, obviously, my first answer is, hit me up for coaching. But I appreciate some people don't want to go to that extent and they just want some quick and easy tips. So I'm going to give you 4 reasons now why you are not growing. Reason number 1, you are not training with enough intensity. Now, that probably comes across to some people like, no, I train really hard, I train really hard. Best piece of advice I could give to you is look around the gym, see who looks like they are killing themselves on a regular basis and ask if you can jump in with one of their sessions. They might say no, they might be an arsehole. Chances are, if you're willing to go toe to toe with them, they will say yes, and you will learn a hell of a lot about what you're capable of. Because I can categorically say that I was extremely fortunate in my early days to train with a guy called Rich Ellis. I've mentioned him in previous videos. Powerlifter with a bodybuilding style training who trained like an absolute animal. And peak Rich Ellis, you know, there's a lot of guys out there who will appreciate how mad that guy was and how strong that guy was. Taught me how hard I could push, the possibilities and the places I had to go and could go. Once you get that dialed in, you open up a whole new realm of kind of, yeah, your potential, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, yes, training may only be 1.5 to 2 hours, 3, 4, 5 times a week, but you categorically will not grow if you're just going through the process. You're just going in, training, going for a little pump, having a bit of a chat with your mates. You need to go with intent, you need to go with purpose, and you need to find that point where you go beyond what you thought you were capable of. You know, even today, on the odd occasion I do train with someone, I'll often be reminded that I could probably push that a little bit further. So that is without doubt the most important thing, I believe, to kind of unleash your potential there. Reason number 2 kind of follows on to an extent from that. So reason number 2 would be you're not tracking data. Now I appreciate that's a very coachy thing to say. You know, what does data comprise of? The very basics. Training, are you logging your training? Now I know people argue about logbook training, but I think if you're starting out, it is a very, very useful tool. I mean, I still do it and I'm, you know, over a decade in. It is a very useful tool to allow you to track your progress and to ensure that you're getting stronger. Because at the end of the day, especially in your earlier years, strength progress should be a big part of it. You know, if you focus on that as a foundation, obviously I'm not going to encourage people to train, you know, like an absolute shit tip when it comes to technique or execution. We want that execution and control in place. But I would say, whereas I'm seeing more of a trend these days for people over-analysing and over-executing and over-controlling everything and then lifting like a fairy, I would rather, when I say this to my clients, especially the younger guys, I would rather they go in and train like an animal and compromise within reason on the execution and control. So if you're logging your lifts, you can see categorically, yes, week 1 I was lifting 60 kilos for 8 reps, next week 60 kilos for 10 reps, and then I progressed from there. And you just keep doing that for, you know, 2, 3, 4 years. Try not to grow, try not to get stronger. You'll do it and you'll get stronger and bigger and you'll be grateful for it. So that's number 2. Included in that data collection though, we also want to track nutrition. So making sure that, I suppose this technically is reason number 3. Again, these kind of overlap somewhat. But reason number 3 then, you're not tracking your nutrition. You're not eating enough. Again, super common for me. One of the first things I'll do when someone asks me this question face to face, because often it could be a bit of a touchy subject to talk to someone you don't really know and tell them they're probably training like a pussy. But you can ask them, you know, what are you eating? Oh, you know, I have a protein shake for breakfast, I have, you know, rice and chicken for lunch, and then I have whatever the missus is cooking for tea. Brilliant, you have 3 meals, you're probably having 2,500, 3,000 calories a day. You're a 5'10" dude who wants to be a heavy guy. That's never going to cut it. If you can't track your nutrition, then how do you know what you're eating? How do you know you're eating enough? You know, the two things that you can, 2 points of data, that word again, that you can really use to your benefit are you getting stronger and are you progressively eating? If you're progressing both of those things and the scale weight is going up, the chances are a good portion of that will be muscle. Now, kind of within reason, ignore the fact that you will probably get a little bit chunky with it, providing you're not eating kind of shit foods and just going on junk and stuff to make your calories up. You're going to put yourself in the best position to grow. So again, eating enough, tracking your nutrition. If your weight stalls and you're happy with your composition, add some calories in. But if you don't know what your calories are, how can you do that? So track your nutrition, massively important. Make sure you guys are eating enough. And then finally, and one that is probably overlooked, but I think not just within bodybuilding taught me this life principle. Reason number 4 is you lack structure, you lack routine. So by that I mean, you get up, when you get up, one morning it'll be 8, next morning it'll be 10, you go to bed at 10 o'clock, you go to bed at midnight, you go to bed at 1 o'clock, you're all over the place. Your meal times, you know, you have meal one day at 9 o'clock, the next day at midday, then you'll cram all your meals in at the end of the day. It's not for everyone, but if you're looking at seriously making progress, lock a routine in place. Not only will it benefit your physical progress, but I promise you it will benefit your mental state and your productivity. Having a consistent routine allows you to get shit done across the board. So for me, having a regular wake up time, having a regular bedtime. Yes, I know, I'm a 35-year-old man, I have a bedtime. Knowing exactly what time I'm going to have my meals, knowing exactly what time I'm going to train, knowing what days I'm going to train. If I know that I've got an event coming up, have I planned that into my schedule? Have I rearranged my training days accordingly? All of these things create a really positive mindset and positive actions. And at the end of the day, it's all very well saying, I want to grow, I want to be bigger, I want to be a mass monster. But if your actions do not align to your goals, it's just waffle. It's just waffle. It's just a dream. It's not a goal, because goals require specific actions to reach those goals. And I think if you follow those 4 tips, so train hard enough, eat enough and progressively, track your data and create a positive structure and routine, you will see progress, you will see growth, and you can thank me later. So now you've got the gems of wisdom from me. You can tune out, fuck off, like the video though, subscribe, all that stuff. But if you're interested in me personally, as a bit of a life update, so I am now week 7 of this kind of cruise phase. I've spoken about it before, that my intention was to stay heavier through this period. I'm holding, this morning I was 329 pounds, so at my peak I was 339. So I'm 10 pounds down, but I'm still holding a very solid amount of kind of weight, and I feel decent with it. I've dropped my calories slightly, not intentionally to lose weight, more so to open up a runway and an element of potential progression when I push on again. Now the biggest news in my life right now is I've completed on my house. I have a new house, I have the keys, and we're getting settled and moved in, and I'll be over there. In one of the coming videos you will see that, and I can't wait to show it to you all. So it's actually timed really well, because you know, this cruise phase I've been dealing with a shoulder niggle, be boring, Josh, I know. So training's been as good as it can be. Weight's been holding. I've had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, getting a mortgage, all that adult stuff which I fucking hate. But we're there now. So my aim where we are today, it is the 2nd of November. I officially move in on the 11th. I'm going to get my blood work done on the 13th, and then from there I'll have a week where I can kind of get set up from a gym point of view in the new place, in the new location, keep it on the hush for now, and then it will be looking at going into my final push phase. So exciting times, a new chapter, a massive chapter coming up, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to sharing it all with you. So life is good, and I'm happy to say that. So thank you very much for listening to that bit of me update, and I hope the previous information can be of some use to you guys. Any questions about this video, future videos, hit me up, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for your time. Much love.